Right, bro, the Carnivore Mentzer system is working exactly as intended. The weight's going down, which is in the right direction. My goal isn't just to lose weight. My goal is to get to a certain body fat percentage, which is 12%. Now, there are two ways of doing that. You can either main gain, which is try and hit your maintenance calories and build muscle, and then you're going to displace fat with muscle, but that's a slow way of doing it. Because I want to see a result quite quickly, I've chosen to do another route, which is let the weight come down, so you'll be in a deficit. Let the weight come down until you reach your goal. So you're actually going to burn body fat, get down, and that might not be, if you're already quite light, you might not want to do that. I'm willing to sacrifice a bit of size and weight, and then afterwards, once I've hit the 12% body fat, because I've always been overweight, the novelty of being light and lean is more appealing to me, whereas my friend who's always been light and lean, the novelty of being big and bulky. So it depends where you're coming from. If you've always been overweight, you're probably just going to want to cut weight down. So the weight's going in the right direction. That's a result of the 3-part system that I've kind of started to implement and come up with, which is satiety, stimulation and stillness. So today's a rest day, and I want to talk about rest because you might actually struggle with this. We live in a hustle and grind culture where it's all about going to the gym 7 days a week and really going ham at it. And you might struggle to just do nothing, right? So it's a rest day. And on the Mentzer workouts, you have full days where you don't work out, and then the next day you work out to intensity. And I was considering fasting today. I'm not going to, because I got some meat out and it will go to waste if I don't use it today, and the animals are too valuable to waste like that. And another reason I'm not going to fast is I tend to build momentum and then start adding more and more difficulties. So I've been eating clean with the carnivore diet, and then I go, oh, I feel great. I lost like 2 pounds overnight, and then I'm like, oh, I'll throw a fast in as well because that's good. And then the day after, I really struggle because I've kind of overdone it. So you get complacent and you bite off more than you can chew. So if I didn't have the meat out, I would have fasted today. But my last meal was at 2 o'clock, and I'll eat one meal today at 2 o'clock. So that's still a 24-hour fast. Anything 24 hours and over, I consider an actual fast. Anything below that, so below 24 hours, I consider intermittent fasting. Still beneficial, but a proper fast is like 24 hours. So it's rest day. And if I did fast, I essentially do nothing, right? And you might struggle with this because we're on the Carnivore Mentzer protocol. Yeah, so that means high intensity workouts and eating carnivore food. But there's a third part of it, which is stillness. And if you did this rest day and actually fasted, then you aren't doing the first two things. You feel like you're not achieving anything, when really you're just doing stillness, because you're not working out, that's a rest, and you're not eating anything, so you're not even doing the carnivore part of it. You are purely just recovering, ready for the next workout. So don't see rest days and fasting days and days where you basically don't do anything as you're lazy or you're not achieving your goals, because this is one of the main tenets that Arthur Jones and Mike Mentzer talk about, is it's the rest and recovery that actually does it. Your body heals when you're in autophagy, when you're fasted. So essentially doing nothing sometimes is the best thing you can do. It's the most active thing. It's not a laziness. So today's a rest day, and just some little tips on fasting. I was going to implement, it would have been more than a 24-hour fast, but I was going to implement fasting today as a stillness practice, right? So we got the three tenets: satiety, stimulation and stillness. Satiety you get from a carnivore diet, stimulation you get from high intensity Mike Mentzer style workouts, and stillness you get from rest and recovery. So that's meditation, sleep, non-sleep deep rest, reading, journaling. These like inward, you've got workouts and work-ins. So even a long walk is a work-in. It lowers cortisol and builds energy in the body. Being grounded in the earth, time in nature, sunbathing on the beach, these are all work-ins, stillness, energy cultivation. and I was going to implement a fast as a stillness practice. My body's not digesting any food, so it can repair cells, get into autophagy. Now, if you're thinking of implementing fasts, you can have, like many things, there's always it's not black and white, there's grey areas. Fasting can be a stillness practice or a stimulation practice. Obviously, it's not going to be satiety because you're not giving the body anything, but it can be stillness up to about 36 hours, or probably 2 days, 48 hours. That can be stillness because you'll have mental clarity because you're not digesting food. That stillness, you can meditate into it, and that's all good. But fasting can become stimulation at a certain point, right? And I've got personal experience because I tried prolonged fasts, and I did a 9-day fast. And the only reason I broke the fast is because of an experience I had towards the end, and I started becoming stimulated. It was stillness, it was very beautiful actually, it was a spiritual thing for me to do. By about day 4, the mental clarity was absolutely crazy. The stillness within, because you don't have calories, you're not giving your body calories, so you don't have energy to put into overthinking and overfeeling, you just become still. So it was a stillness practice up till about day 4. Then your body is motivating you to find food, and I became agitated and my sleep started deteriorating, so I wasn't sleeping great. So to combat that, I would just go on long walks because that lowers cortisol. I was hydrating well, going on long walks, and it was really good. Carried on, and day 9, it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning, wasn't sleeping great, so I got up and went for a long walk. I had some time off work, so I wouldn't recommend doing prolonged fasts while you're working. And I walked down to the seafront close to me, there's a Swan Lake, right? And I walked down there and I was just sat on the bench. It was a beautiful morning. And there was this duck in front of me. And I looked at the duck. This is 9 days into a fast, so only water for 9 days. I looked at the duck and I was just thinking I could literally grab you, rip you apart and eat you. So I was stimulated by my hunger and by my nervous system to just, that's food. Now, the last time you sat down by a Swan Lake and fed the ducks, the bit of bread you're feeding them, you might have thought, oh, I could eat that. And even that, you probably have eaten so much that day that even that bread didn't really seem appealing. Let alone the duck. But I'm looking at a live duck thinking I'm just going to grab you and eat you. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go over to the beach, make a fire and just cook you up and eat you. And it was at that point I knew, and that was my nervous system stimulated. Before that, I was in the stillness part of the fast, which is your body actually likes the break from digesting food. When was the last time your body didn't have food to digest? And I heard an analogy which is quite good. Autophagy is your cells repairing itself. And if you've got a motorway or a road, and there's always traffic going down that road's going to get worn out and the workers can't fix it. So you've got potholes and divots in the road. In order to fix that road, you have to shut the road off and divert the traffic somewhere else. And then the workers can come in without traffic going by and fix the road. And that's what a fast does. So I don't know how you'd stretch that analogy to then become stimulation again, but in the beginning you're stimulating that road by having food go through it or having traffic go through it. Then you remove the traffic and healing happens, and then after a while you're actually starving, so your body starts to stimulate you again. So that would be my recommendation with fasting. If you're going to implement that, it can be stillness, can be stimulation. So today's a rest day. I did go to the gym just because I like implementing that into my routine, and I like still going. I just did calisthenics work, stretching and some lightweight stuff. Nothing that's going to compete with a high intensity portion of the workout tomorrow, which is legs. I love leg day on Mike Mentzer because it's literally 10 minutes, it's so quick. And the leg days from Mike Mentzer, I remember when I used to train with my mate, full on high volume leg days, And the Mike Mentzer stuff, you can do more with one set than you can like with high volume. So went to the gym, and as well with fasting, just while I'm talking about fasting, if you are going to do fasting, do it when you've got a low stress day. If you've got a meeting at work or an appointment with the divorce lawyer, I don't know how messy your life is, but if you've got a stressful day, don't even bother fasting. You can just intermittent fast, keep it clean with carnivore or whatever it is. But fasting should be reserved for when you don't have much stress going on. So it was going to be a pretty chill day today. I've ended up getting quite a bit done, but that's why I was going to implement the fast. Instead, I'm just going to do one meal today. So yeah, don't try and, because people use food to suppress stress. It's a stress management tool. So if you know you've got a stressful day, don't even bother trying to fast. So I went to the gym, lightweight, and the stillness I've implemented today is I went to my garden, my allotment flower garden, and just got some clips, and I'll probably put a video up today or tomorrow. So if you're interested in gardening or you want to see the garden, then I'll do a separate video, just an update. I like to keep track of what everything looks like, and then I can compare it year to year. So that's it, nice and simple. I used to think that you had to always be on it, you always be grafting on it, and in reality the rest is more than 50% of what's going to get you the results. So let me know what your plan is. Are you fasting? Are you implementing Mentzer style workouts? What's your food like? Just interested to know what plans people are following. And the thing I've come to realise since doing YouTube and other goals I've got, I've realised how much like clockwork the body recomposition is. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. If you're doing high intensity workouts, you will build muscle. So it's quite a nice goal to have. If health and fitness is a goal you've got, it's nice because there's no doubt these systems work, and if you implement them, you'll get the results. If somebody's figured out the YouTube algorithm, let me know, because that's something that I'm working on at the moment. And it's like with everything, when you're first learning something, it seems like there's no, there's no rhyme or reason, there's no, you know what I mean, what am I trying to say? Like it's random, but it isn't random. Like Mr. Beast has cracked the code on YouTube, and Mike Mentzer cracked the code on building muscle, carnivores have cracked the code on diet, so you can crack the code, it's just in the beginning. Even human nature, human psychology is something me and my friend have studied for quite a while, and now it's like clockwork. We sometimes sit on a bench down the seafront and just kind of people watch. It's quite fun to people watch. And someone will walk by and they'll do like a body language thing. Even in these videos, I've found if I say something that I'm a bit unsure of, I touch my face. And normally you do that when you're lying. So I have to cut that bit out because I'm like, oh, well, I was obviously lying about, about that, or I wasn't 100% sure. And to the untrained eye, you just wouldn't even notice. And now, whenever I'm talking to someone, if it's something important and they touch their face, I think, oh, I better make sure that that's actually the truth. So yeah, certainty. I think Mike Mentzer spoke about this as well. If you have certainty with the thing you're doing, you're just going to get the results. And with YouTube, that's a goal I've got. And I don't have certainty yet because I haven't done enough hours. Do 10,000 hours and you become a master. So, hope you're on it. Hope you're making progress and tracking it and seeing the results. Speak to you tomorrow. Legs, bruv, legs. For the food today, it's just going to be a nice simple one, dog food, which is beef mince, liver, heart. I got some kidneys from the farm as well. Egg yolks, cooked in tallow. So today's been pretty good. It's just been a chilled one because it's stillness, it's recovery. I've just gone down to my local farm. I bought some more heart and liver, chopped that up, put it in the freezer. ready for the next satiety session. So that's it, it's that simple. Satiety, stimulation and stillness. If you do those three things, you will change the composition of your body. It's taken me a while to figure that out, but slow progress is better than no progress. So this is what satiety looks like today. This is one meal, and this is 125 grams of ground beef. We got kidney, heart, liver, bacon. The kidney's a little bit overkill. I should probably have less than that because you want to eat it in proportion that it's found on the animal. But that's just what I got out, saved me cooking it and refreezing it. Then we've got 2 duck eggs and a chicken egg. I'm going to separate the white and just eat the yolks and then cook it in either tallow or ghee. So this is what goes into dog food, so I'll show you when it's cooked up. And the reason this is satiety is because this is full of nutrition. The organ meats are superfoods, even the muscle meat. It's got good fats in there, the eggs, very high quality nutritious foods that the body wants. So this is satiety, this is giving the body everything it needs. So that's it, dog food, beautiful.